In this video, I'll be sharing my recent perfume purchases. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sarah and I'm a perfume reviewer. Please do subscribe to my channel and then you can become part of this All the Perfume community. If you're not new, welcome back and thank you for watching my videos and all of your likes and comments. I did not expect to be back so soon with this kind of video. This is my third instalment of perfume purchases and I will link below the previous two videos. If you've watched those or if you're a subscriber, you will have heard me say that I don't actually shop for perfume as much as you might think. I receive a lot of PR, I work with brands, and I also will always ask for a perfume or two for birthdays and Christmas. So that is how I have my big collection, and certainly gifting from family and friends is partly how I grew a collection in the first place too. Be that as it may, we are back sooner than I planned because you will see I've either just given into temptation. There are some brands I wanted to explore, some affordable scents, and also there were a couple of limited edition, discontinued perfumes that I just couldn't resist and didn't want to miss the opportunity with. So I will go through each of what is 5 perfumes individually. I will tell you whether or not they were a blind buy, why I wanted them, their notes, and when I will wear them as well. Now, usually I do group my perfumes into groups of 3, but because there have been more purchases than usual, I felt like kind of closing this chapter and just bringing them all together for one video. That isn't to say that I'm on any kind of no buy now. It's just, I think there'll be a bit of time passing before I buy another scent. So this is the latest 5, all bought over the course of the last 3 weeks. The first perfume that I bought that I will share with you is Cinnamon Rolls from Theodoros Kalotonis. Now, I do have a perfume wish list. It isn't one set form, like one piece of paper or one note on my phone or one post, but I have posted on Instagram previously with wish lists, and off the top of my head I could tell you about maybe 10 different perfumes I would love to add to my collection. But what I find often happens is that there'll be a new launch and something like this will just beat so many others and join my collection much more quickly. So I already had Velvet Chocolate from the house on its way to me for Christmas as a present from my mum. And then Cinnamon Rolls came up as their latest launch, and I just wanted exactly what this scent promised. The smell of a cinnamon roll. I love cinnamon as a note, and it was really appealing, so I blind bought the perfume. Now, this was £45 from Déjà, and for niche perfume, I think that is a really affordable way in. I also do have a 10% discount and a link that I would include below for a little bit more, 10% more money off. Now, this perfume, as well as its cinnamon, you've got in here butter, sugar, caramel, honey. There are just so many delicious, tempting notes in this perfume. And when I first sprayed it, I just felt like I was in a bakery, and that is still the feeling I get when I smell this perfume. It is really feel good. It's light and fluffy. But the more you smell, the more that spicy cinnamon note comes through. It's really good. It's addictive and it's fun, and it's exactly what I wanted as a perfume that smells like a cinnamon roll. As the perfume dries down and on the skin is really where I'm talking, I get more of the honey and the caramel notes, and there is certainly for me more honey in this than there is the caramel. I will enjoy this perfume in my collection in the same way that I enjoy Nanatopia from Born to Stand Out. That perfume basically smells like banana cake. This one is cinnamon rolls. When I'm in that mood to smell foodie, this is a perfume I'll reach for. And if not, because I love the way the scent just smells, it's a perfume that I'll sniff, test and enjoy. So no regrets on this one. I think it is a really great house. I would love to own so many more from Theodoros Kalotonis. I don't love the boxes, but it doesn't matter. I think the scents are really affordable for their quality, and I don't keep them anyway, so that's not a bother. But that is my thoughts on cinnamon rolls. If you want that lovely pastry, buttery scent of a bakery and some cinnamon in your perfume, this is certainly one to check out. This next perfume is So Very Sofia by Sofia Vergara, and I was browsing Direct Cosmetics site in that little bit of time between Christmas and New Year, I had come across this perfume in the past, and this time around I saw another scent that I'll get to as my next clip, and I just couldn't resist it because it was $3.99 for this bottle. And in here you've got passion fruit, there's orchid and there's patchouli. Because I love passion fruit, I just felt like this was a must-have in my collection for that price. It is a note that I don't see enough of in perfumes, so I wanted to try it. Even as a blind buy, I thought for $3.99, it's less than I pay for takeaway coffee. So for me, that is just part of the fun. Now, I had seen this perfume on the site before. I will also say that I've worked with Direct Cosmetics before, but this isn't in any way sponsored. I'm just always really impressed by how affordable the perfumes are on that site, and it kind of usually makes me wonder, why aren't more people treating themselves to perfume when it can be so affordable? But that's a subject for another day. Now, this perfume in particular was launched in 2016. There are lots of others in Sofia's line, and I have to say that finding out afterwards that it was a collaboration with Avon is probably a good thing, because in the past I used to find Avon scents a little bit too similar to each other. They seem to share a bit of a DNA, whereas I came at this unbiased. I hadn't realised it was an Avon collaboration, and I think it helped me out. This is that lovely passion fruit that I enjoy in Bejeweled from Vera Wang. It's pretty, fruity and woody. There's a bit of a creamy vanilla, and it's a good day wear. This is something you could have as a work scent. It's got something bright about it as well, that it would feel a little bit fun. It's just classic and would be really hard to dislike, I think. So I'm happy with this one. I've worn it for a full day. I have no regrets, and I just probably won't reach for it much, but only because I have a large collection and it isn't addictive for me. This is just quite fulfilling for me to think, I saw a passion fruit scent, it was affordable, and now I can have it and enjoy it very occasionally. But I feel like with this one, it would be so good to put in like a gift bag for somebody, or like a pamper bag or present, like, you know, a perfume. That's less money than a bath bomb can cost. So I just can't recommend this enough as a great way to enjoy perfume. And as I said, for me, even though I won't wear it much, for me, just that act of buying it and treating myself to something that's luxury but for a small price, that's the fun kind of ticked off for me. Like, I don't even need to wear it lots now. Don't come for me about overconsumption. But yeah, that is the fun for me. That is that box ticked. I've said it. So yeah, I like this. I would recommend it if you like your passion fruit woody scents. No regrets from me. A blind buy, but a great classic day wear passion fruit scent. This perfume is Purple Light from Salvador Daly, and I bought this with my Sofia Vergara perfume because it was also on the site. It meant the postage and packaging, of course, was for 2 cents, not 1, and this was £4.49 for 30 millilitres. I was worried that this would sell out. I think it might have said something like only 2 left in stock, so I felt that need to buy it. I knew that I would regret not buying it, not trying it, but it was a blind buy. This lilac packaging is so cute, and I didn't know much about the brand at all, but I think one of the things that also swung it for me, as well as the risk of not, you know, of missing out and not having it in my collection, was that the perfumer behind this in 2006 when it was launched was Francis Kurkdjian, and I thought, well, that's great for an affordable scent as well. So the notes aren't my usual notes that I go for in perfumes. You've got bamboo leaf in the top, cherry blossom, flowers in the middle with lilac, tiare flower and jasmine. Then in the base you've got vetiver, almond tree and musk. And so I haven't worn this as a full day, and you'll see why, but testing it out, that bamboo smell really dominates. So if that note appeals to you, this perfume will be really great. It at first is the scent of trees in a hot country. It's a little bit familiar. I get lilac, but not the other flowers. And I'm reminded a little bit of makeup counters, but going back, end of the 80s, 90s. It smells expensive. It smells feminine. and then it goes to a kind of watery musk scent, but with that bamboo note still dominating the others in the perfume. It feels like a good perfume. It feels well done. I don't regret this as a reviewer because I think I can recommend this perfume on the basis of those notes if those notes appeal to you. But for me, this isn't a scent profile that I enjoy, so I don't want to smell of this scent. I like having the lilac bottle in my collection for a little bit and finding out more about the brand. So as a collector, as a reviewer, it's great, but personally, it's not a perfume I want to smell of. I just don't think it smells bad if you like that kind of perfume. If I were to bring age into perfume, which I don't really like to do, I very rarely do, I would say if you're buying this for somebody maybe in their early 60s, somebody who might have been buying perfumes that were launched in the 80s would enjoy this, because that is where the familiarity is with me and those notes. Okay, so a range I'd be interested to hear more about if you've tried other scents from Salvador Daly, but for me it was a good way in with the lilac bottle, but just not a perfume that I can happily wear. So my followers often ask me how to get hold of discontinued or rare scents, and I do shop often on Vinted. Now, I don't help myself really as somebody who is so tempted by perfumes, because I will have a little browse on Vinted and it can clearly lead to purchasing perfume when I hadn't planned to. I like to save searches on there so that in that way, if I'm after a discontinued perfume or a limited edition one, I can just quickly tap in and see if there are any new listings in that area. This is what I did with these next two perfumes coming up. Now, I will say, and I'll say it again, I don't believe in paying too much for perfume. If somebody is marking up a scent to make a bit of money off something discontinued, I won't be buying. But I've got very lucky, as you will see in the next two purchases. Both are from Vinted, and I'll tell you more about the perfumes. This perfume is Bejeweled by Vera Wang, and it was launched in 2013, and I did have a bottle back then, which I finished, which is testament to how much I love the fragrance, because with my collection, actually finishing a bottle doesn't happen too often. So I had it as a saved search in Vinted, and I was so pleased to see a listing. I didn't buy it straight away, and I might have a little bit of a tip or a hack for you here. I think I'd favorited the listing, and then a few days after doing so, the seller messaged me and had a lower price for an offer on the scent. So I bought this as part of a gift set for £21, and I'll show you that gift set in a moment. So glad to have the scent back in my collection. This is one I love for its passion fruit note, and along with that you've got your red currant, champagne and pomegranate in the top of the perfume. You've got in here pink peony, honeysuckle, and in the base is sugar, musk and also Australian sandalwood. So many notes I love there. I really enjoy honeysuckle in perfumes. Sugar is always a note that I want in my scents, and then you've got your sandalwood as well. Now, to be honest, without spraying this, I can already smell it in the parcel and the package anyway. But it's just so bright and uplifting, and this perfume really reminds me of spring days. And to put this on back when I was wearing it the most in 2015, I think, was just a great start to my day. I feel like it is a fruity floral. It is a fruity floral perfume, but it is the perfect balance of some juiciness in the fruit, sweetness in the sugar, and then the floral notes, the peony and the honeysuckle coming through. I think it's such a nice scent, and I don't see why this was discontinued. I like other Vera Wang perfumes, but for me, I wish this had stayed as a perfume you could buy. I had Sam test this, actually. My husband tested it when it arrived, and he was saying, is it still okay? Do you think it still smells okay? And I thought, well, do you not think it smells okay? This might have been sitting in somebody's home for 10 years even, but I think this smells just as good as it always did. It's a find. But I probably wouldn't go any more than 10 years back with buying a perfume. If something like maybe a Kate Moss perfume from back in 2007 was listed, I wouldn't buy that on Vinted, because I just think the risk of it being, 17, nearly 18 years old now, yeah, it's too much for a risk. But this one, I'm really happy with. It is, well, a scent to look out for if you want to do the same as I did and try your resellers. But yeah, I love this, and you can see there are no regrets to me buying this perfume for £21. So I said I'd show you the box, and here it is. This is what I bought for the £21, and this is actually exactly what I had way back when I first owned the fragrance. I even used the shower gel of this scent, and I don't love accompanying products with perfumes. I mean, I do when they're like the Britney line, how that was in the beginning, where you could get so many different bits and pieces like body scrubs and powder puffs and so many cute things. But actually for shower gel and for body lotion, I don't seek them out. But if they're here, I'm going to use them. And I did just that with Bejeweled way back when. I did use this shower gel, so I'm looking forward to having it again. Body lotion, perfume, shower gel, all for £21. I'm really happy with that. So as well as recommending this fragrance and wondering if you ever got to try it, I'm also kind of recommending Vinted today as well, and just saying you can get some real gems on there. This next perfume is Easy Bake from Huda Beauty, and if you are a subscriber already, you'll probably already know my excitement to get hold of this perfume. So last April, in April 2024, Huda was sharing Instagram posts talking about who has stolen the Easy Bake scent, so the scent of the powders by the same name. And then I kind of thought that it was an April Fool's joke at first. There was this perfume appearing as an image in her posts. It looked a bit like an April Fool's thing. But no, the idea behind the scent was that some people had complained that they didn't like the scent of the face powder. Some people said they loved it. And so she had the kind of gimmick of taking out the scent of the fragrance, bringing out the scent of the powder, bringing out a perfume by the same scent, and then also having a fragrance-free powder on offer. I think I've got that right. And so we have Easy Bake. Now, I just really regret not buying this on Huda Beauty in that first couple of weeks where you could, maybe even less than a week. It's limited edition. It was retailing for 50 something pounds. I didn't want to spend 50 something pounds on perfume that month, and I didn't, but I should have done. I've basically spent the month since, you know, like looking up on Vinted and hoping it'd be relaunched, like refreshing the Huda website. No, it only came back in America on TikTok. I couldn't get it, but here we are. So I'm happy. I'm happy as a short story. But with the fragrance, so, well, no, let's talk about Vinted. It came up a couple of times on Vinted, but for double the price, basically. And as much as I wanted it, I just won't be overcharged for a perfume. I want a fair price. Then I got really lucky because this appeared maybe 2 weeks ago now, and the lady was selling it for £55, all in all. That's everything. She wasn't saying that the box was sealed, but she was saying that it was new. So with our scent, meant to be smelling like the face powder. In the opening, it is pear, gardenia and jasmine. In the middle, it is tuberose, orchid and ylang-ylang. And in the base, you've got sugar, amber, moss, driftwood, coconut and vanilla. And I have worn this a few times now. When I didn't think I'd be able to get my own bottle, I tried to make my peace with it, thinking maybe it wouldn't be a love for me anyway. I was trying to kind of imagine how it smelled and think, well, it's not going to be an obsession or an addictive scent necessarily, but I'm happy to say that actually having it now, I really love the perfume. This really captures a glamorous powdery feel to it. So that is what the scent is meant to be. It's meant to be the fragrance of the powder. And it smells like it. I feel like my nose is to a powder compact and it's got a kind of comfort in it. I surprise myself by liking it as much as I do because white flowers aren't really usually my thing, and there is a lot of tuberose in this. There is a lot of the gardenia. And it reminds me a little bit of Déjà Vu White Flower 57 from Kalotonis, which I found has grown on me and I really appreciate and enjoy wearing now as a costume. But funnily enough, that is a perfume that Huda and her sister Mona kind of disagreed on. And I think it was that Mona pushed more for that perfume to be the way it was and Huda didn't like it as much. So it's funny to see that Huda's Easy Bake, to me, is smelling quite similar to that. This has that comfort about it. But then I find that the vanilla note really becomes stronger the more I smell. So it takes me to that kind of rich day out feeling that I love. That idea of wearing a really good vanilla scent with something different and feeling like you've got something kind of luxurious in your collection. So these are not things I expected from a limited edition perfume from Huda Beauty. I wanted the novelty of it smelling like a powder. I didn't expect to find the vanilla as strong, to enjoy the white florals like I do. So my new problem now might be wanting a backup bottle of this scent. The seller was really fair with that price point. It wasn't more than the original fragrance cost, and happily I found it very much in the box. This had not been opened before. I don't think that's what she'd put in the description, so I was really happy. The box, again, I'm saying this so often, isn't one I'll keep, and it was hard to open, so it's got this like tear at the top that's been annoying me a little bit, but I'm not keeping it anyway. And you've got, just like you have with Kayali, you've got the notes on the side, and it says bold, sensual, delicious. I would agree to the delicious. I think this is glamorous. I think it is a luxury feeling perfume. So if you didn't get to try it, maybe try and look out for this scent. Use Déjà Vu White Flower as your way into what this perfume smells like. No regrets from me. Another great vintage buy. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed hearing about my recent perfume purchases. I don't expect there'll be another one of these kinds of videos soon, but you never know. I will include all the links below to the previous ones, and I'll link the fragrances where I can too. Please do let me know if any of these scents appeal to you, if you've tried them, or if you've tried anything else from the brands. I'm also here for your questions and any reselling chat as well. If you've used Vinted before for perfume or eBay, please do let me know your thoughts there. Remember to give this video a like, please, if you enjoyed it, and also to subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can find me over on Instagram, TikTok, and my blog too. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.